Welcome to the hottest movie review on the internet today, the A-List Review. I am your host, the Game Changer, Wes Troop. And in this episode, I've actually been requested to do a review for my buddies over at the We Like Wrestling podcast, available wherever podcasts are downloaded. I'll give them a shout out in the description, so if you want to check that out, you've got the link. But, what's up guys, by the way? So they sent me over a film to review that's quite interesting. They gave me quite the challenge. Here's my review of the 1991 black comedy horror film, Nothing But Trouble. Chris Thorne, a Manhattan financial publisher, is hosting a party at his penthouse where he meets Diane Lightson, an attractive lawyer he agrees to drive to Atlantic City the following day. Two of Thorne's obnoxious Brazilian clients come along for the trip to Jersey as well, but things really start to go wrong when Chris gets pulled over by a cop in the small town of Valkenvania for going through a stop sign and then trying to escape the officer. The policeman, Dennis, tells the group that they must be seen and judged by his grandfather, Alvin, the honorable justice of the peace of the town. Once Chris and friends are escorted to the judge's creepy mansion and discover that he's 106 years old and rather unstable, the group is forced to stay overnight and have their case be judged in the morning. However, they begin to worry if they'll make it through the night. So what did I think of Nothing But Trouble? I thought it's a mediocre but weird black comedy horror film. The movie's written and ended up being directed by Dan Aykroyd in the only movie he ended up directing. He also produced the film and played two roles. The town of Valkenvania is actually based on a place I've passed through a number of times, Centralia in Pennsylvania, which is a pretty cool little fact. The film's setup definitely gives off some Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Rocky Horror Picture Show vibes as the out-of-place, out-of-towners stumble upon the town or house full of strange characters. It can be visually creative throughout, especially with the junkyard outside of the judge's mansion filled with all types of used items. There's also a pretty cool roller coaster ride of death some of the judge's guilty victims are subjected to, called the Bone Stripper, which I'll leave to your imagination. The mansion is also filled with the usual trapdoors and secret passageways, but also some very random things like a room with a giant pile of rubber ducks or a miniature train that serves food at the dinner table. The comedy misses more than it hits, and the film really is more bizarre than it is funny. There's also a lot of gross-out moments during the dinner, as well as the judge's penis-looking nose, as well as a couple of interesting sight gags. While it's got a funny premise, for the most part it's just executed badly. I feel a better script might have helped, and of course being edited down to a PG-13 rating probably didn't help matters either. The story goes all over the place. I asked why certain things were happening a number of times, characters exit the story quickly with no rhyme or reason, there's a predictable fake-out towards the end of the film, and its extremely cartoonish final scene is something straight out of Looney Tunes. Even some of the performances are weird, with our hero being very hard to root for, as Chevy Chase really sleepwalks through his role here. Chase stars as Chris Thorne, the financial publisher who never expects the crazy and deadly experience he's about to have when just going on a simple trip to New Jersey. Dan Aykroyd as Judge Alvin Valkenheiser, the insane judge who executes passerbyers for simple things such as speeding. John Candy as Dennis, Alvin's police officer grandson, and Candy also plays Aldona, Alvin's mute and psychopathic granddaughter. And Demi Moore as Diane Lightson, the New York lawyer who needs a ride to Atlantic City. There's also a random cameo from Digital Underground, which features Tupac. While it's certainly odd and has a few elements you haven't seen or even dreamed you'd be seeing, so much of the material in comedy falls flat or sometimes never even gets off the ground. Nothing But Trouble, I'm gonna give it the rating of meh. It's okay. Alright, well that's the show. I'll be back with another review very soon. Until then, don't forget to subscribe right here on YouTube. YouTube.com/Westside of 515. Like us on Facebook, Facebook.com/WestTroupeAlist. And of course, you can follow me on the Twitter and the Instagram @WestAlist. Until next time, Troop out.